Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking with Mr. Dustin. Now, we are going to be making a series of holiday cooking editions, and I think you'll enjoy these things. But today, this is the first of many. We're going to be making a homemade tomato soup, and it's a slow cooker recipe, which are always excellent. And we're also going to be making Christmas tree shaped grilled cheese sandwiches to go with it. We got to start with this because this is going to take 6 to 8 hours cooking in the crock pot. To do this, the tomato soup, you're going to need 2 cans of tomato puree. These are like big 28-ounce cans. You'll need 1 can of the tomato sauce. This is a 15-ounce can. You'll need 1 cup of chicken broth. It's on the label. I gotta read. And then at the end, we're going to add a ½ cup of whipping cream. And if you don't want to add this, that's okay. It'll just be thicker and creamier with it. Then you'll need a whole diced onion. Already done that. You'll need ½ teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and then 2 cloves of garlic. We actually use this that's already minced, so it'll just be a teaspoon of that to equal 2 cloves of garlic. So we just basically add everything to the slow cooker and then stir it together and turn it on for 6 to 8 hours. So it's a dump and pour recipe. Let's get to dumping and pouring. Tomato puree first. There's 2. Tomato sauce. All right. I'm gonna add my onion. 2 cloves, or in this case, this measures out as 1 teaspoon garlic. A ½ teaspoon of our Italian seasoning. And then a ½ teaspoon of salt. And we will add the whipping cream to it later. So we're just going to stir all these things together so you get a fairly good mix. And then we will turn that on low for 6 to 8 hours. So we'll come back to this in a little while. And then that's whenever we'll work with our whipping cream. And while that is cooking, we're also going to make up some grilled cheese sandwiches.
6 hours later.
All right. It's been about 6 hours, so just kind of stir off and on. And so now it is time to start working on our Christmas tree grilled cheese sandwiches. Obviously, you're going to need bread. You got to have bread for sandwiches. And you'll need to butter that bread. And then you're going to need cheese. I like to use a variety. We've got some Colby Jack and mild cheddar. If you really like a cheesy sandwich, you can put one of each on there. Anyway, pick your favorite cheese. And we're going to get those ready to go. So as you get started with your Christmas tree grilled cheese, there's a couple of ways to go about it, and we tried both of them, and I want to show you what the end result is so you can decide which one you want to do. This one, we went ahead and cut out all the pieces before we grilled cheesed it, and this one, we grilled cheesed a regular sandwich and then cut it out, and it's very smashy. So it's up to you. So what you need to do is get your bread and choose your cheese. Now, I always like to add my butter in between both pieces of bread. So I'm going to butter the inside of the sandwich. All right, so I've got my insides buttered. Now I'm going to be all about it. And I'm going to put Colby Jack and mild cheddar and have a cheesy sandwich. Now I'm going to flip these on top of each other. And you will need, I think this is a 4-inch Christmas tree cookie cutter. You can get these on Amazon. If you're going to do this the same, I would recommend this. But you can also just try to cut it out freehand with a knife, which would be a lot harder. Obviously, like a cookie cutter, put it on there, smash all the way through. And then I'm going to lift my bread around the cookie cutter. As always, pro tip, wash your hands. Now I'm going to butter the outside of the sandwich. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my skillet. In the skillet, you can hear it. I'm going to add my butter to the top side. I always like to give a little peek under the side, and I can see that that is starting to cook, and so I'll take it and flip. Flip. So, looks done on both sides. The cheese is definitely melted. Let's take it out and put it on our plate. So that is a grilled cheese Christmas tree. Once you're finished with your grilled cheese sandwiches, this is the last thing that you have to do if you're adding the heavy whipping cream. And don't you know, I'm adding the heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to stir this a little bit, and then I'm going to take my 1/2 cup heavy whipping cream, add that to the soup, and then stir that in. And as once you get this stirred in, it is ready to serve. And there it is. Good part about cooking in a slow cooker, you can smell it all day. And then we'll serve it up. And you can add some croutons to the top of your tomato soup. And that's ready to serve. Christmas grilled cheese, well, Christmas tree grilled cheese and tomato soup. A definite good classic for whenever it's cold weather outside. So thanks for joining me as always for another episode of our holiday edition of Cooking with Mr. Dustin. See you next time.